Tourism in Las Vegas is in a big slump this summer, costing the city billions of dollars. Some are saying that could signal trouble ahead for the U.S. economy.
We're seeing double-digit drops in Vegas in particular, and I think that's going to be the story of international tourism in 2025 and going into 2026.
Las Vegas may still dazzle, but for many visitors, that sparkle now comes at a steeper price, from soaring hotel rates to $9 coffees. Inflation is hitting hard, and fewer tourists are traveling to the famous destination.
Picture this.
You touch down in Las Vegas, anticipating the glitz, the energy, and that electric sensation that this city alone once possessed. You get to your hotel, and before your luggage is even open, the charges hit. A $60 early check-in fee, a $50 resort fee, $25 cocktails, and it hits you. This isn't the Vegas you recall. One Redditor nailed it. We cannot afford Vegas like we once did. This is the reason we now sleep in the car. Visitor numbers are plummeting. Las Vegas witnessed an 11.3% dip in visitors just this June. That equals over 400,000 less individuals in one single month. So what is going on? The reality is Vegas is being intentionally re-engineered to exclude the middle class. And it begins with one cold, calculated concept right from leadership. First reason, the elimination strategy. The reality came out in a single sentence. On a 2023 investor call, Tom Regg, the CEO of Caesars Entertainment, stated, "You're kicking out the lowest end. I see no reason that needs to stop or would stop." That is not a misquote. It is the plan. Las Vegas executives are no longer concealing it. They desire fewer visitors, just wealthier ones. They are intentionally forcing out the middle-class guests who once packed the Strip, the buffets, the performances, and the blackjack tables. Because when your aim is impressing billionaires, the typical gambler is just an obstacle. Every price increase, every added fee, every shuttered attraction. This isn't arbitrary. It is all part of the strategy. Make Vegas so costly only the whales can play. But this is what they fail to grasp. When you drive off the masses, you destroy the vibe. And lacking that energy, the whales themselves stop showing up. Second, when Vegas lost its charm. There was an era when Vegas seemed magical. You could stroll the Strip and watch fire erupt from the Mirage volcano pirates fighting at Treasure Island, or fountains moving to Sinatra. Completely free. Families, newlyweds, poor college students, everybody had a front row view. That was the agreement. Vegas provided a spectacle even if you weren't gambling, but that agreement is gone. In August 2024, the Mirage volcano, a Vegas staple since 1989, was torn down to clear space for Hard Rock's new guitar-shaped tower. Crowds assembled to see one final eruption, phones up with nostalgia in their eyes before it disappeared for good. The exact same fate met Treasure Island's Pirate Show, and lesser attractions like the Avengers Station have also closed. They label it progress, but it's really just sterilization. Vegas once welcomed everybody. Today it only markets exclusivity, and with each enhancement, it is forfeiting the one thing that made it iconic. That sense of belonging just for one evening. Third, the high roller fixation. So who is Vegas serving now? Not the visitors saving all year for a single weekend on the Strip. They are now excluded by cost. Vegas is now pursuing the whales, the ultra-wealthy gamblers who wager more in a single night than most individuals make in a year. People such as James Packer, the Australian billionaire dropping millions at the Bellagio, or Floyd Mayweather, whose betting sprees are famous. For them, Vegas provides the red carpet. Truly. Private jets, chauffeured Bentleys, and suites so lavish they aren't even listed online. In the meantime, everyone else is shelling out $25 for a week cocktail and a $55 resort fee. But here is the paradox. Those whales are not what sustains Vegas. It is the masses, the average gamblers who pack the floor, purchase the drinks, and roar at the tables. They represent the city's pulse, and Vegas is removing its own heart just to wow a few millionaires. Fourth death by 1,000 fees. Vegas was once known for affordable thrills. You could grab a buffet, a beer, and a great story, all for very little money. Now it's death by endless charges. MGM Resorts raised resort fees 2 times in 2024. They currently average $40 to $50 per night, plus the inflated room costs. That $99 hotel rate you found online, by checkout, it's nearing $200. And that doesn't include the $25 cocktails, $30 pancakes, and $35 burgers. A tourist quipped they nickel and dime you. And by nickel, he meant 20s. Even the gambling odds were discreetly weakened. Most blackjack tables now pay 6-5 rather than 3-2, slicing your potential winnings by almost half. This is a city designed to take your cash. But it once made you feel good during the process. Today, it just seems like a ripoff that has a gift shop. Fifth, real people, real losses. Behind each vacant casino floor and inflated price, actual people are experiencing the consequences. One anonymous Caesars cocktail waitress I spoke with said, "I am noticing far fewer tips than I typically would. We have significantly fewer people gambling." A different server mentioned her tip earnings fell by 50% compared to last summer. And on TikTok, one strip employee vented, "Last year, I earned $300 to $500 a night. This week, 24. These are the individuals who crafted the Vegas experience. The ones who smiled through hangovers and bad beats to make guests feel like high rollers. Now they're seeing the crowds vanish, shifts get shorter, and management proceeding like it's business as usual. When you wring the customers dry, the employees suffer next, and soon there is nothing left. Sixth, the numbers don't lie. For years, casino executives boasted that record profits were proof their strategy worked. But the data shows a completely different narrative. Hotel occupancy on the Strip fell to 78.9%, which is down 2.1 points from the prior year. Average daily room rates declined 5.5%, dropping to around $180 a night. And the Big One casino net income on the Strip plummeted a shocking 40.4% in 2024, despite revenue climbing over 6%. So how do you earn more money but retain less? By draining your patrons until they don't return. The math is clear. Visitors are spending less time, less money, and feeling more frustrated than before. But rather than addressing the issue, Vegas doubled down. They label it premium repositioning, a slick term for charge more for less. Casinos swapped character for corporate gloss, reduced staff, hiked prices, and squeezed every dollar until it hurt. They believe short-term gains appear better to shareholders than long-term loyalty. But that logic only functions on spreadsheets because down on the casino floor, the seats are empty and the dealers look bored. It's a city built to master the numbers game, yet somehow it's losing. Seventh, when Vegas hurts, Nevada hurts. When Las Vegas sneezes, the remainder of Nevada gets a cold. This city isn't merely a tourist hotspot. It's the economic engine for the whole state. In 2024, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority gathered a record $382 million in room taxes, an 8% increase. Sounds great, doesn't it? But look again. That spike occurred before the downturn started. Officials are already anticipating a slowdown in 2025 and are budgeting for decreased revenue. That is a diplomatic way to say the party is winding down. Here is why this is important. Roughly 1/3 of all room tax money in Clark County doesn't remain in Vegas. Therefore, when casino profits drop and hotel bookings decline, it signifies more than just fewer visitors. It signifies reduced funding for schools, decreased bus routes, and potholes that go unrepaired. Las Vegas's greed isn't only harming tourists. It's beginning to starve the actual communities that power the state. And this isn't only about taxes. The city now faces a $110 million budget deficit because of that revenue gap. Local authorities are rushing to fill gaps that casino executives contributed to creating. It is paradoxical. The corporations who constructed this empire with other people's cash are now suffocating the very system that enriched them. Vegas once pledged prosperity for all Nevada. Now it's turning into the reason the state could go bankrupt. Eighth, the Raiders analogy that clarifies it all. Picture Allegiant Stadium during a game. The lights are bright, the field is pristine, and the luxury suites are filled with VIPs enjoying champagne. Yet the remaining seats are totally empty. Now ask yourself, how long will those VIPs continue paying top dollar to sit in a lifeless stadium? That is how Vegas feels today. Casinos destroyed the vibe by pursuing high rollers. Forgetting the crowd is what generates the magic. They constructed a city of luxury boxes, private lounges, exclusive gaming salons, and gated entrances, leaving the rest of the Strip feeling empty. And here is the evidence. Local casinos, those still serving regular players, show revenue up by as much as 50%, while the huge Strip resorts are hemorrhaging. What's the reason? Because those local spots still grasp volume, energy, and connection. They understand a full room of $50 players holds more value than a vacant palace awaiting one millionaire. A Redditor captured it perfectly. They shattered the pact with the average person. You once lost your cash, but you ate good food, had a tidy room, and some fun. That deal is over. Las Vegas executives continue to label it premium repositioning, but truly they are just performing in an empty stadium while claiming it's sold out. Ninth, the competition is drawing near. As Vegas continues to hike prices and pursue billionaires, its rivals are silently luring away its clientele. Thrifty visitors haven't disappeared. They are simply visiting other places. Small desert towns across Nevada are sprucing up old resorts and providing genuine value once more. $99 rooms, complimentary breakfast, and no resort fee games. They are attracting the very customers Vegas ejected. Atlantic City is branding itself as the budget-friendly Vegas, offering free boardwalk shows and more affordable tables. Even Napa Valley and Cabo San Lucas are joining in, offering all-inclusive luxury packages for less than a weekend spent on the Strip. One travel agent stated it plainly: when you can visit Mexico for less than Las Vegas, you visit Mexico. That is the type of statement that ought to strike fear into every casino CEO. Because Vegas once was the ultimate dream destination, the spot to celebrate, to feel energized, to experience a bit of risk. Now it must compete with everyone from beach resorts to cruise ships to online casinos. And it's failing. Travel influencers are bypassing it. Younger crowds view it as costly and corporate, and the more Vegas attempts to appear elite, the less distinctive it gets. For decades, the city dominated the concept of affordable excess, the single place where anybody could feel like royalty for a night. Now it has shrunk to a premium brand within a market full of cheaper alternatives. 10th, the actual reason for it all. On the surface, it is simple to label this greed, and certainly greed is a factor, but beneath that, something even darker is propelling Vegas's shift: desperation. The casino behemoths aren't raising prices because they are succeeding. They are doing it because they are losing, slowly, discreetly, to a generation that no longer requires them. Younger individuals do not dream of Vegas like their parents did. They can gamble right from their phones. They can mix drinks at home. They can find dopamine hits via apps, not slot machines. The U.S. online gambling sector reached $182.6 billion in 2024, cutting directly into Vegas's clientele. And rather than adapting, forging new reasons to come new attractions or affordable enjoyment again, Vegas just doubled down on its old ways, squeezing every last cent from whoever remains. This is why everything is pricier. This is why the buffets vanished. This is why the Strip seems like a ghost town in high-fashion attire. And the results are widespread. By March 2025, just 8 all-you-can-eat buffets are left on the Strip, a huge drop from dozens only a few years back. The Poker Palace, a family-run North Las Vegas casino established in 1974, is closing down this year, letting go of over 120 staff members. Spots like that don't disappear due to misfortune. They disappear because the new system has no space for them. Vegas was once a symbol of escape, a location where a construction worker from Ohio might sit beside a millionaire from Manhattan and both would feel like royalty. Today, it's a case study of what occurs when a city forgets its people. Because Vegas isn't powered by money. It's powered by energy, by noise, by people. And once you swap the masses for silence, no jackpot will rescue you. So here's the reality the casinos hope you ignore. They didn't destroy Vegas with greed. They destroyed it with fear. Vegas once gave you a promise. You would lose your cash, definitely, but in exchange, you received an unforgettable experience. An affordable buffet, a free drink, a tale you'd chuckle over for years. That was the agreement. And today, that agreement is void. The city founded on chance ceased taking risks. It forgot that magic is not an item to sell at AA premium. It is something you build. And lacking that all the neon on earth cannot conceal the void beneath. So perhaps the query isn't what happened to Vegas. Perhaps it's what occurs when every place similar starts pursuing only the wealthy. Because Vegas is not the only city to trade its soul for profit. It's simply the most glaring illustration of what happens when greed is mistaken for progress. Have you noticed the change personally? Did your most recent visit feel strange? Post your story in the comments section. I'm eager to know what your Vegas was like, because the reality is this city survives only as long as its stories, and currently it's becoming short on both.